What is up, guys? It is Repeat back, and here is my latest video. This is going to be something a little bit new to my channel. I've reviewed wrestling events before, and I've reviewed wrestling DVDs of various different things. I've done merchandise unboxings, I've showed you guys merchandise I've got, and I've done a video about my AJ Styles gloves, which is just ridiculous how many views that has had. Thank you to everybody who's watched it. So I figured I'd do something a little bit different, and I'd review an album. Now the album's been out a little over a month now, maybe a little bit longer, and it's by a band that I have recently, well, over the last few months, got really into, and the band is Ghost, and I got into them purely by chance. I was watching a Slipknot video on YouTube, and then a thing came up for a suggestion, and it was for a channel called Rock Feed, which if you're into rock metal, rock music, heavy metal, that sort of thing, and you're not already subscribed, go check it out. The guy who does the channel is absolutely amazing. He's proper got his finger on the pulse when it comes to news and stuff like that, and he mentioned this album, so I checked out a couple of Ghost's earlier stuff on YouTube, liked what I saw, got some stuff, put it on my iPod, and then as soon as this album came out, I grabbed it and put it on my iPod, and after listening to it a few times, and quite a few times now, I decided, what the hell, even though I've only been a fan for a couple of months, I'll give it a review, because I'm new to them. This album is new to me, so it just kind of made sense to me to do it, and I thought I'd try something a bit different. So here we go. For anybody who's watching this who's a hardcore Ghost fan, I apologise if I make a complete dog's dinner of it in any way, but I just decided that I needed to do a review of this video. Like I said, it's been out just over a month probably now, but it is just probably one of the best albums I've heard for a long time. So I'll give you like a little bit of background, and then I'll go sorry about that, and then I'll go through the track listing and sort of give you my thoughts on each of the individual songs that are on it. So Prequelle, as the album is called, is the fourth studio album by Ghost, who are a Swedish heavy metal band, and it's the first one to be recorded since the band's leader was officially confirmed to be Tobias Forge. It was released on June the 1st, so it's just over a month old this year, and the first single, Rats, was released ahead of the album on April 13th, and as of June had peaked at number 4 on the Billboard mainstream rock song charts. I apologise if it went any higher, but I'm just going on a little bit of information I could find. I made the notes before I did this video, so I apologise, like I said, to the hardcore Ghost fans if I get anything wrong. So this album marked the band's strongest selling debut to date, landed at number 3 on the Billboard 200, and apparently it sold 66,000 copies in its first week, with 61,000 of those being traditional album sales. I'm assuming by that it means you go into your local record store or whatever, like your HMV or your wherever else you can get music. I can only think of HMV over in the UK, and buying a hard copy of the CD or the vinyl or whatever. So anyway, I digress. On the 31st of March this year, a video titled Ghost Chapter 1 New Blood was released on the Ghost YouTube channel as an advertisement for the new frontman, the new character that Forge would play, and his name is Cardinal Copia. There have been other videos added since. I've seen them and I thought they were great, so I definitely recommend after this you check them out. That it's brilliant how they build up the story to this guy. But Prequelle has been described as hard rock, heavy metal, doom metal, arena rock, progressive rock, and pop rock. Forge had the theme for Prequelle planned out for years, and he described the theme as, this is a Tobias Forge quote apparently, survival through a tumultuous time of your existence basically being threatened. and the concept of death and doom. He wanted to make a record about the plague and the Black Death, which led to about half the population of Europe dying hundreds and hundreds of years ago. But he said it also led to morality issues such as memento mori and seize the day, because the other half survived. So like basically those who survived decided, right, we've lived, so let's make the most of life, that kind of thing. That's how I interpret it anyway. And he also said that it's themed around medieval times, but he's definitely clinging on to a lot of very current things. He remarked that in recent years many rock elders have died, such as Ronnie James Dio, David Bowie, Prince, and especially Lemmy, which he said affected him much more than he thought they would. And he's quoted as saying, "It's made me want to be a little bit more attentive when it comes to trying to make sure that you're making the best of the opportunities that you have with your seniors. That is something that has affected me and this record a lot." The opening track, Ashes, I'll say track, but I'll get to that, features, now I'm probably going to massacre the pronunciation, Manu Forge, who is Tobias' daughter, singing Ring a Ring of Roses, which was a nursery rhyme that was, well, it's renowned to originate during the plague. They used to sing it because they thought that if they smelt nice then they wouldn't die, hence the Ring a Ring of Roses, pocket full of posies. Obviously it doesn't work, so it's a tissue, we all fall down because they're dead. So a little bit of a history lesson for anybody who isn't aware of the plague there, which I'm sure most of you are. So there's 10 original tracks on this album and 2 bonus cover tracks. So I'm going to go through the tracks now as they're, the track listing, and sort of give my thoughts on it. And these, like I said, it's purely my opinion as somebody who has recently got into Ghost. So like I said, the first bit is Ashes. I wouldn't really call it an opening track, but it's a good intro, and with it being like plague themed, it really is a good way to set the tone or the theme for the rest of the album. The second, well, track 2 is the first of the proper songs. It's Rats. For me, this is just a standout song of the album. It's one I often find popping into my head the most. It's a great track, and it is easy to see why they decided to release this as the first single, because it's just an immense song. The third track is Faith, and that starts off pretty heavy, then goes quite melodic, and then heavy again. And again, it's a really good song. I quite often find this one more recently popping into my head. Track 4 is called See the Light. It kind of reminds me of 90s rock, but not in a bad way. And yeah, I really like this song. I think it's a really good song. Track 5 is Miasma. This is a purely instrumental song, and it is really well done. It ends with a saxophone solo. Yes, you heard that right, a saxophone solo in 2018, which gives it a little bit of an 80s feel, but it is a really nice tune. It's pretty relaxing. For some reason, whenever I hear that saxophone solo at the end, my mind automatically goes to the party in on the beach in Police Academy with, I think it's I can't remember his name, Tackleberry, playing the saxophone. But yeah, like I said, it's a great tune, and it's really well done. Up next is Dance Macabre. This sounds very much like an 80s rock song you'd find on a film soundtrack, like something off maybe like a Rocky or some other action film or something like that. Still a really good song though. Track 7 is Pro Memoria. It starts off pretty slowly, and it has some pretty dark lyrics. It has a steady pace all the way through. It's not too heavy, it's not, but I really like it, and the steady pace to me it's not a bad thing. Track 8 is Witch Image, which is another song that gives me a sort of 80s 90s rock vibe. I don't mind it, but it's not a standout song to me. Track 9 is, now I probably will butcher the pronunciation of this, is called Helvetensfonster. Helvetensfonster, yeah. And it's the second instrumental track on Prequelle, and it's titled directly translates from Swedish as Hell Window. Basically, little backstory of this is that during the Middle Ages, women used to wear dresses or overcoats with wide side openings. These openings allowed sinful men to take a peek at women's breasts, so you got a bit of side boob, and therefore they also see their eternal damnation from sinning by looking at said side boob, hence a window to hell. So there you go, you learn something new every day. It's essentially, like I said, it's an instrumental that has parts of Pro Memoria in it, but it is a really nice piece of music. I really do like it. And then the last of the Ghost tracks is Life Eternal, and apparently the theme of the song asks, if you were given the choice to live forever, would you really want to do that? I don't know the answer to that. It varies from one day to the next, but I do really like this song, and I think it's a great song to end their original tracks on. So then we'll go to track 11, which is the first of the cover songs, which is It's a Sin. So I'll give you a little bit of a backstory here. I'm sat on the bus, and I've literally the night before put this album on my iPod and then gone to bed. Dropped the little one off at school, got on the bus, like I said, put my iPod on, put this album on straight away, and I'm going through all the rest of the songs. I'm like, wow, this is really good. And then it gets to this one and it starts off, and I'm thinking, my God, this intro sounds familiar. It sounds like It's a Sin by Pet Shop Boys. Sure enough, it is. It's a cover of the Pet Shop Boys' It's a Sin. I'll be honest, I prefer this version over the original, and I know a lot of people may consider that sacrilege or whatever, but I'm not bothered. I really enjoy this version, and I think it's a great cover. So there. And then the last one is track 12, and it's called Avalanche. I'll be honest, I've never heard of this song. I don't know who did it originally, and I'm not bothered about finding out because I'm not a massive fan of this song. I don't know whether Ghosts haven't quite covered it right or what, but I might check it out at some point down the road, but I'm in no major rush to. But like I say, it's not something I go out my way to discover. I mean, if it does turn out that Ghost have cocked up or made a balls of the cover, then but yeah, so yeah, that's the last track on the thing, on the album. So overall, I absolutely love this album. It is my go-to album on my iPod at the moment. Every time I get on the bus, either after dropping the little one off or going to pick him up, 8 times out of 10 to 9 times out of 10, this is the album that goes on. I've lost track of how many times I've listened to it. My favourite track is, like I said, definitely Rats, and that is closely followed by Faith. Those are the two songs that I most often find popping into my head, because they are the two most, I don't want to say catchy songs, but they're the two songs that you can sort of definitely remember better. Any of you out there who are not familiar with Ghost, I encourage you to look them up on YouTube. Get their albums, obviously, go out and either buy them or download them through iTunes, whatever. But they are absolutely amazing. Like I say, I've managed to get hold of all their albums and EPs, and they're all sat on my iPod and in my iTunes list. And I really do love them. I love the whole frontman gimmick, where it's a different character who's basically played by one guy who wears a mask every album or every whatever. But yeah, absolutely amazing album. Like I said, I thoroughly loved it. I've been recommending it to all my friends, anybody who's I've been chatting to or texting, or it's, oh, I found this brilliant new band, go on YouTube, check them out. And most of my friends who've got back to me and said, oh yeah, I checked them out and you were right, they're absolutely amazing. I'm like, yeah, they are. So yeah, I recommend anybody who's not familiar with Ghost, go out and give them a watch. If you don't like one song, keep going. There's bound to be something by them that you do like. If you are a fan of Ghost, please let me know what you thought of my review of the album. I hope I did it justice, because like I said, I really love the album. I think it's just an amazing album. So yeah, that'll do it for this video, guys. Please leave a like, leave a comment. If you've enjoyed the video, please subscribe. There's plenty of stuff to keep you entertained, and going forward there may be some more review things like this, so we'll have to wait and see. But for now, guys, that will do it for me.
emerge in the guise of